myself as well.
So we record it
Okay.
so that we can also track this.
Yeah.
You tell me, so far we studied about listening test. The basic information that I'm going to give you right now, that listening test has been divided into 4 parts. So far, I think you understood that the first is all about a conversation. So do you think a problem that you have in conversation?
No,
Okay.
I usually don't. No. No.
Look, you understood that means this is a conversation. It's a social conversation.
Yeah.
And it's between 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The second section is completely a monologue, means one person's speech. You tell me,
Okay.
do you find any difficulty here?
Not really. No. Like that's what, like I'm not having issues like understanding the speech or anything. Like I'm getting the the concept of and or the idea of whatever like they're talking about.
Generally, it has multiple choice questions.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of things wrong in the multiple choice as well. Right.
Yes. The first one is, that means fill in the blanks. So generally, it means
That I'm okay.
yeah,
That I'm
yeah. When 2 people they communicate,
especially when it's like one word, I'm doing really well.
yes, because sometimes you have to follow the instructions if you have to write one word or 2 words.
Correct. Yeah.
That's okay. Second is
that I'm okay with.
yeah. Second is a monologue, one person speech, and third one is a group discussion. It's educational. You can understand some students, they might be speaking with each other, and there is some college background, library, means educational.
Right.
And here you can find maximum multiple choice questions. The question, means how to find the answer. First, you have to concentrate on the questions, and they will talk about all 3 or 4 options that you have to select one. You have to just go concentrate on the questions, and it is easy to find those answers.
Yeah, like that's what, like I need to make a mental note for the test day that I need to focus on the question really well.
Of course.
But sometimes like one word like changes the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah. And the last one is again a monologue. There will be one person speaking, and it's educational, the college background or any educational institutions, either the first day of the commencement of the class or library rules, regulations, something. And here I would like to say you that you will find no breaks from 31 questions to 40. Before all sections, you understood what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
In all sections, you can find in the beginning that look at the question 4 to 9. And here also
sometimes
so here you have to really think about it, and you will also have 30 seconds. When they say, look at question 5 to 10, means you have to really look at a glance. Here, what can you do? You can underline the keywords. Okay. For example, it has mentioned the questions like Albert visits Australia frequently. So,
okay, but like if I'll be taking computer-based test, I won't have the.
No, there will be an option that you can highlight because it is.
Okay.
Yes, you can highlight the keywords, and you can understand that Albert travels Australia frequently. So if you have to really understand travel and then visits, sometimes they say, I'm not willing to go. And the question will be, Albert is reluctant to go. The both meanings are
the use synonyms.
Yeah, means they have to talk about the synonyms generally.
Yeah.
Sometimes if they are talking about the bike tour, then they say the cycle. cycle odyssey, something else. So this is something different words you can find in the questions, but they will talk in the different. That is, you have to understand that the synonyms are important.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I have to provide my own tips, the first one is that you have to read the instructions where you have to find how many words that you have to write as an answer. The second one is that you have to write answers clearly. Means if you are making spelling errors, you are losing points. Third one is that you have to also match the answers. For example, you have to write down school bags. And if you write school bag, it is considered wrong. For instance, and to correct it, how can you find that? Means you have to write down either school bags or bag. You just see the questions. There must be something like signpost that will be many, several, like several school bags. You cannot write several school bag. So
like the answer has to fit the tone of the sentence.
Tone and the complete match with the completely. This
grammatical.
Yes. So here, that is why in computer based, you will get 2 minutes extra, 2-3 minutes.
Okay.
But paper based students, they get 10 minutes extra.
In that transfer.
You have to transfer your answers to the answer sheets. But here, when you have to take this extra minutes, that you have to understand while listening that you have typed. Maybe it is wrong, but it doesn't matter. You have to correct it at the end when you finish this test. And total, it goes 30 minutes. Each section that it will take, 7 or 8 minutes. So now 30 minutes. And the first tips is read the instructions. Second one is that you have to write clearly the answers. Third one is that always try to understand what is the singular and plural. The fourth one is that you have to be aware that the distractors. Okay. The speaker, they will say, okay, how many, suppose the two people, you were asking me, so how much did this cost? I say, it's $240. Oh, sorry, it's $260. So you come to the conclusion when we have to see what is the right answer. Understood? And the next, one more technique is there, the last technique that is quite impressive, and it's very important for you that once you understood the question number 21, you are trying to struggle, you are struggling that you are what they have spoken, and you are not finding the exact words. And you're struggling. By the time question number 21, you are struggling. 22, 23, 24, 25, it is gone. Yes, it happens. So here, what is the techniques? You just leave 21, concentrate
and move on.
And move on. And always try to see the next question on your mind. Understand? Next question, if you see, you can find that your answers. Next question.
The keyword is there in the back of your mind.
Keywords, and why not you try to predict the answers. And finally, you must know what are the types of the answers that you need to write. For example, if they are asking a dollar, $240, here you should not write some word. Okay, so this is the types of the answer. Once you are aware with, so your things will be okay. That is why the techniques. Now I'm going to tell you how British councils tell the same information. Okay. See. Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah, now I can. Yes.
Okay. See, this is now.
I'm here today to give you some tips on what you can do to do a better job at the listening test, to get a higher score on the listening test.
See.
The first thing, the most important thing, is to read the instructions, I think. If you're not reading the instructions, you don't know exactly what it is that's required for the answer for the IELTS test. So the instructions might tell you to write down no more than 3 words or write down no more than 4 words. numbers are important. If you get them wrong, your answer is wrong.
So this was the thing that I also explained to you. The first
Yeah.
one, instructions.
Yeah.
Try and predict. You know, see how British Council suggests around the world, all the YouTubers, IELTS trainers, they will say the same. Check the maximum number of words
Yeah.
that allowed and make sure you know what to do.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this is the first
Yeah.
that you have to understand. Now the see what they're seeing, what they're speaking, and what they are explaining you. See, I told you this also.
When you're given the test, there's a little blip that lasts about 30 seconds that says, you will now have 30 seconds to look at questions number 9 to 15.
Anna Maria and Tom have persuaded Abdul to join the college badminton club. He is talking to the club secretary. As you listen, fill in the spaces 5 to 10 on the membership form. First, you have some time to look at the form.
All right. When you're looking at those questions,
When you're looking at the questions, you can see.
what I would be doing is I would be looking for a couple of things. I would be looking for keywords in the questions. I would underline them or circle them.
So this is the way how I told you. That means the other words. What could be the other words for the beginner? Tell me.
Beginner could be
Pressure.
starter, fresher, amateur.
Yes.
The next thing I would do,
What could be the other word for the average?
Like mediocre.
Yeah, not good, middling, not good, not bad.
Yeah.
What could be the other word for the good?
So many. Good would be like fine, great, works. Like it has like a whole range of things that could go for like
Means of
synonym.
the league.
Not
League.
bad.
League means professional,
league,
top, high level.
like a
I would think
like a
of synonyms.
level.
Words that have a similar meaning to them.
This is beginner. What they have. You see now.
How do you rate your game? Beginner? League?
Oh no, I'm not league standard. Just middling, really. Not bad, but not good.
See, she has, and he has not spoken average, but average is mentioned. Not good,
Yeah.
not bad. So they have not, they will never say the word, but exactly the same word that you will find. And how there's multiple choice questions. They already say not bad, not good.
Just play for fun and to keep fit.
Understand?
It might have, for example, what does the student request? Now, you would underline request because you want to listen for that answer coming. But if you listen for the word request, it's probably not going to be in the text, and then you'll get lost. But if you think of synonyms for the key words, and then you're prepared, so you see request, you think, okay, maybe they'll say ask for. And then you're ready for the synonym to come.
Always I told you that you should be ready.
You might call your doctor and say, I want to make an appointment for 3:15 in the afternoon. And the doctor will say, yes, that's Tuesday afternoon, the 3rd of March at 3:50. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Tuesday afternoon, the 3rd of March at 3:15. So when you're listening to it, they might go back and reverse the information. So just because you hear something the first time doesn't mean it's the right answer.
So this is also, I told you that beware of distractors.
Also, look at the topic that it's talking about. For example, maybe it's talking about sport. As you see that, start to think about sport. We tend to organize vocabulary in groups in our brain. So what you need to do is kind of activate your vocabulary for a certain area. So when you see maybe the topic from the various questions, start thinking about words that you know as well. It's a lot to do in 30 seconds, but this is one thing you can do.
So the same thing that I explained you, I would like to give my own examples. Suppose two people they are talking about, one is car salesman, one is a buyer customer. So the topic is that something showroom. So you see what could be the talk and conversation between both of them. There must be the consumer will be asking about what are the car types like model number, okay, the brand name or something else, the automatic, manual, diesel, petrol. These are the vocabulary that goes around. Okay, that if he or she buys, it could be by debit card, cash, or something installment, some loan.
Right.
Okay, so these are and sometimes they ask about the mileage, the servicing. So the same thing, this is the words that you can understand. Okay, see, so that is why now after this, you have to really, it is called brainstorming when you start with the 30 seconds.
Okay.
And then this is also a right.
I've looked at students' work when they've done practice tests for me, and maybe the answer was 30 seconds, and the student wrote 30 S. S doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know what S is. Another student might have written 30 SEC. SEC is a standard abbreviation. If you're going to use abbreviations on the IELTS test, make sure you know what the standard abbreviation is for a native English speaker. I would say write out the word if you've got the time. Write the abbreviation when you're making notes for yourself on the test paper itself, because remember, on the listening test, you're given 10 minutes to transfer your answers at the end of the test. When you write out your answers on the answer sheet, write the whole word.
This is also again, if in doubt, write down full words, not abbreviation. Check spelling and grammar when you transfer your answers. I told you this one, that write the word you hear, don't paraphrase or rephrase. And sometimes you like comma, decimal point, that how you told that 10,000. It is, if you can separate with the comma, but always try to transfer your answers.
Give me a minute, okay? Just a minute.
Yeah. So this is your
Yeah.
sorry?
Yeah. So when you write like numbers like 10,000 and stuff, like I'll have to put a comma, right? After the
If there is 10,000, so of course it is better to put a comma.
Okay.
So
Because I feel like they don't have a standard way of writing it. Sometimes they'll like mark it correct for 10,000 with a comma. Sometimes they'll mark it correct.
we say
Because-
we say 1 lakh, but they say 100,000. You know that. So this is the way
Yeah.
that. So 100,000 means like they always try to put a comma so that you can segregate while speaking. Now this is the thing that you can understand, that if you get lost, don't panic. So the same thing I told you, when you don't understand question number 10, and you try to understand.
Students tell me they've lost track. They don't know what's going on. They can't figure it out.
And then they start to panic and they lose their place. You need to think, if you miss an answer, don't worry about it. Go on.
Listen for key ideas. While you're listening, while you're lost, look down at your questions, find those key words, and listen for them. Chances are you're going to hear a word that fits one of the words in the question. And if you hear the word that fits in the question, pick up from that point. you're given 10 minutes at the end to transfer your answers. And, you know, miracles happen. Wonderful things happen. You might remember the question. You might remember the answer at the end when you're filling in your answer sheet.
See, this is the last 10 minutes because you don't have to go for the negative marking. Try to answer all the questions, put anything, and
Okay. So
try
if
to
you
get-
skip it, it's negatively marked.
No, there is no negative. That is what I'm saying. Use your 10 minutes, write down anything. You don't live like a vacant space.
Like pick a logical guess if you miss one. Like
Yes,
okay.
this was the information that I also gave you. And
I'm here
after
today
this,
to give you some tips on what you can do to do a better job at the listening test.
so I think this will help you a lot today to understand more. So far you did 4. After this, again, after this training, I think we have done with the completely doubts problem with the listening. So I think you're also responding better because you are asking each time, sir, next test, and immediately I'm sharing with you the next test. Means we are together 24 hours, 48 hours, means with mentally we are connected. That is why it means I have to go through with my students. Okay, this is beyond of the classes. I just take care with my, like, suppose you're asking me something on my WhatsApp, I deal. Sometimes in certain cases, I also call and entertain their calls. So don't worry. Today means I have just done, like, for listening part, my job, the tips, your job starts again 4 tests when we start with me. And then the next time we can switch out with the reading.
Okay.
Any questions so far listening? I think, am I done with this?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
When you go with the practice, then you can find some problem. And when I start next reading, then again, I will have to discuss with the warm-up session for my lesson planning. You know that when I start something, I always ask some question in the beginning for 5 to 10 minutes, what we have done the last sessions. So today, I've done it, and I'm right now sharing another test. Okay, I'll IELTS 10, and I'll share IELTS 10 test 1, test 2, test 3, and test 4. Okay. So because you've got 2 days in your hand, it's Saturday and Sunday, and in that 2 days, if you can ask me, I can also provide more than 4 to 5 tests. It is up to you how many tests that you have been doing. And like this, you can just go with, you can check it you answer or send it to me. Better check yourself, correct it, and write down 30 out of 40, so that I can also be, like, satisfied. And sometimes I will be completely, I would understand now it is okay for you. You're not having some problem in this section, section 3. If I can find another, I would suggest you.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So now you are going to do more tests right away after finishing this session. When I just call it a day, then after this immediately I will share the test, and you start doing test and be in touch with Saturday and Sunday. Just send me, I will just take you. And from Monday, then we can start your. Is it okay? So I think this was the best time that you understood. Right now, I'm going to send you some test to you. Do it and send it to me. Okay? So it was a nice day and nice conversation. Thank you.